This is my second valuation for Ford Motor Company. I got some help from Mirna and Hassan Sami. First, I will present the steps. I started off by filling out the Excel. I got some wrong numbers at the beginning, but then Hassan helped me fix them. Then I calculated the EBITDA according to the projected EBIT from the Excel. After that, I calculated the free cash flow and then the WACC. And using both of those, I got the net present value from the projected free cash flow. After that, I calculated the PV residuals and finally the price per share. Filling out the Excel, I corrected the two sheets. The first sheet, which was case 1, had different growth rates. And Excel 2 had other different growth rates. And the final one, the one which will be submitted on Blackboard, in 2014, I set a growth rate of 1%, followed by 1.5% in 2015. Then 1.5% in 2016 again, and then 2017 was 2% and 2018 2.5%. Now I calculated the EBITDA according to the projected EBIT that was on the Excel. I subtracted the taxes, added depreciation and amortization, and subtracted the working capital. And using the EBITDA, I subtracted the capital expenditures to get the free cash flow. On this second slide, you can see the exact calculations I did using formulas on Excel. Now for the WACC, I got the total equity, the cost of equity, the total debt, the cost of debt, and the tax rate. And as you see the formula on the screen, this is the one I used. And after that, the calculation I did and the result I got 3.5%. This represents a relatively low WACC, but it is very constant, or we can say correct, considering the numbers of Ford, and especially for the EBIT. The first EBIT is 957 million, which is relatively low considering all the other numbers that are projected and are on the Excel are all in billions. Now for the net present value, I divided the free cash flow of each year by 1 plus WACC to the power of the relevant year. So for example, if 2014 was the original year, so it represents year 0. So the power, so the division of 1 plus the WACC to the power of the year 2014 would be 0. And the same applies for all the next years. So, and as you can see on the screen, each year is relevant to a number. And on the next slide, you will see the projection from Excel. I also did it on Excel. The WACC is constant. Each year is the same. So it's 3.5%, which is 0.035, and adding 1 to it would be 1.035 as the number that we're dividing by. And now, as you can see, the net present value is 164, and in comparison to the other valuations I did, the original ones were 127 in valuation, and this is the closest number I can get to. 164 means that either I over-evaluated the company or investors under-evaluate the company. In this case, this goes back to the growth rate. We will discuss that in the end. For the PV residuals, I divided two things. First, and in the first line, you can see it on the screen. First, I subtracted from the WACC the growth rate, the average growth rate, and then I divided the free cash flow of the first year by the number I got from the subtraction calculation I did. And then I divided all of that by 1 plus the WACC, to the power of the number of years we're calculating, so 5 years. And I got 1,339 billion. And this number is logical because usually the PV residual should be higher than the valuation, than the net present value we get. As for the price per share, I divided the net present value by the shareholders' equity. The net present value, considering it's 164 billion, I divided it by the shareholders' equity, which was 24.81 billion, and that gave me a total of 7. So 7 is the price per share. In conclusion, we can say that the valuation we got of the company, which is 164, is very close to the original net present value we got from the other exercises before the Excel sheet exercise. Which means two things: either the fact that the company, the small gap suggests that the company is not valued enough by investors, because here the value I got from the Excel is higher. So this means that the other official one that is published everywhere is by investors that did not value Ford enough, or that could simply be a problem with the growth rate. But I'm positive the growth rates are right according to the sales and the progression of Ford. So there's a very, very high chance that this means that the company is not valued enough by investors. On the other hand, on the last for this last screen slide, you can see that the total value of the company with the PV residuals is 1,503, which is normal, and this number is very close to the one online compared to the other markets. And it is clear also that Ford is more powerful, if we can say that, than the auto manufacturers industry. So as an industry, Ford is stronger than the industry, or more powerful.